Today's show is going to strictly be about bona fide dope ass women in hip hop. And I got one of the dopest with me today. She's an activist. She's a mother. She's a swagged out grandma. And she had everybody in my neighborhood. I don't know about y'all, but she had all the girls in my neighborhood wanting the box braids and the braids and thought they was fly. Give it up for the legendary stomping into the 90s, Miss Yo-Yo. What's happening?
Hey, don't try to play me out. Don't try to play me out. Happy New Year, Leon. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm glad to see you in health. Glad to see you're doing well. Because coming out of 2020, we were talking about this off the mic. Bad year. We lost a lot of good people. We lost Chadwick Boseman. We lost Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
ex-Houdini from Houdini. MF Doom passed in October, and then his wife just came for Shabadoo Kenyon as the man who played Ozone and Breaking. When you see that, because you had the opportunity to be around some of these people and work with some of these people, especially like Ecstasy from Houdini, that's all like the same era you guys were rocking. How did that affect you? Because, you know, when I honestly first heard about COVID, I asked the flu, woo wop the bam. And then things started happening to people. I took it seriously. How did it affect you when you seen some people, legends that you know, passing or being affected by this illness?
You know, I took it to heart. I mean, it really put things into the right perspective for me, for my family, for my social distancing, for me, you know, wearing a mask, not having large crowds around me. I mean, you know, it's really frightening still to this day. I mean, you know, still now it's just frightening. I mean, you know, sometimes I have anxiety. I'm waking up like, damn, I'm still alive. Thank God I didn't die in my sleep, you know, because people are dying in their sleep. And so it really is affecting not just me, but my mother. You know, I'm putting the pressure on those that I love that are older, you know, going to the market. So yeah, it's a lot.
What's been the biggest change for you?
Well, the biggest change is finding a way to stay creative, trying to find a way to keep my mind occupied because I'm an artist. My mind is like in 8 different places at a time. So to me, trying to channel that energy, find a great place to create here at home and not feel as if I'm sinking in quicksand during this time.
So you were one of the female MCs that I always enjoyed listening to because you were fearless, right? You came in on Ice Cube 19. I remember 1990. This is a man's
Yeah.
world, but
Yeah.
women without a woman's touch.
Right. Right.
And me and my homegirl, I got a shout out to my homegirl Wanda. We used to do that song back and forth on the porch, like I'll be Ice Cube or whatever. What was that? Did you come into the game with that type of attitude, or was it something that when you realized you had the platform, okay, I got to be this chick for other women out there, or was that always the goal? Is that yo-yo just period,
Yeah.
straight up and down?
That was me straight up. I mean, of course, I come from the home of NWA, so there was a lot of a bitch is a bitch. I ain't the one. We heard
Right.
that. I mean, you know, it was almost like it was just a style to stand up for women. Who you calling a bitch? And
Right.
that was just a style. And
Shout
when
out to Queen. Shout out to Queen Latifah
shout
too.
out to Queen Latifah, yes, and shout out to all of the women who came before me. But when I hooked up with Ice Cube, it was more so of wow, really? Because you know, my image in the community was, you know, I was talking shit right back.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Right back at him with it. So
Yeah.
from the city of Compton,
Yes.
born and raised,
Yeah.
Compton girl.
Compton, South Central. Yep. Compton, South Central. I'm a Cali chick. Yep.
Talk a little about the Cali swag and being from Compton and being a female. Because I'm not gonna lie, y'all different. I always say like New York women, Chicago women,
Yep.
Compton women, and women
South
from
Central.
Miami, the deep South, Florida. Like it's just a different breed. So growing up as a woman in Compton, then you got the Serena Williams and the Venus
Yeah.
Williams doing their thing from out there. My girl Val Warner, she's a TV host out here in Chicago. She's from out that way too. Talk
Yes.
about what was it like being a female in Compton? Go into detail, guy. I heard what you said earlier about NWA, but it's regular guys out there that's talking reckless and how you might have to knuckle up or hold your own.
Well, you know, I was brought up in South Central Los Angeles, born in Compton, raised in South Central Los Angeles. So I spent a lot of my time in the heart of the city, Los Angeles, South Central Los Angeles, South Central Los Scandalous. It was for me. I've been an artist my whole life, so I think just growing up growing up in music, period, or growing up as a young girl, I mean, of course, LA is way different. I always love a native because we have so many implants here. So I always love a native because I feel like they're my sister. I feel like all of the struggles we had to go through here in Los Angeles, Compton, Inglewood, Watts, Linwood, Long Beach, we all have the same story. So it's almost the same. I mean, it's always been a struggle. I mean, we talking about Black Lives Matter. We've always been talking about that. I became an activist at a young age because of the battle ram. They would barge into your house and have the wrong house. The incident would happen to this Breonna Taylor. That was happening to a lot of homes here in Los Angeles. They would take a whole army machine and ram into your home. So we called it the battle ram. And so we've seen a lot of corruption in Los Angeles from the police department. We've seen a lot of corruption. We've seen a lot of racism and stereotype and a lot of segregation here. So, I mean, to come up here and win and to have a voice and to become an activist for your community and a voice for your community is something powerful because a lot of us make it, but not a lot of us come back. So those who are powerful and proud, we do what we need to do.
So I heard that you were working at McDonald's before you took off on your
Hey,
rap. Is that
hey,
true?
what you want fries with that shake?
Was you on the register? Because you know the rule in the hood, you can't make no money if you ain't on the register.
I had just started working. I was going to El Camino College. Cube had told me, listen, I told Cube I got a job at McDonald's. Cube was like, why? I was like, because I want to work. I just wanted the experience of working. Well, I had already been working, but I wanted to work, and I didn't know how the music industry was going to go. I was just fresh in it. I had just signed a deal, so I didn't know how it was going to be. And shortly, I was on the shake machine. I was cleaning the shake machine.
It worked.
I was cleaning the
The
shake
shake
machine. It
machine
worked.
actually worked. Damn shake. Can I get a shake? I'll shake machine down. Well, goddamn. What
I
is
only, I only worked there for I think 2 weeks.
Okay.
The Cube's like, yeah, you got to quit. Come on.
So how did Ice Cube influence shape your career? Because from that moment when you made the decision, I'm jumping in and both feet in, how was Cube that beacon that helped shape your career?
From the very beginning of meeting Ice Cube, he was just getting into the industry, you think you're going to meet a lot of people that's going to show you the way. From the very beginning, Ice Cube was showing me the way. He was saying stuff like, this is how it is. Just we when we ride on the plane, we'd sit next to each other, we talk about everything, and really, sometimes I'd have to look over like, is NWA Ice Cube? Like,
Right.
okay,
He
but
is.
right. But getting to know him, I soon began to respect him professionally, respect his brain, and the machine.
Do you think some of that came from how he was treated in his dealings with NWA? And part of him was saying, I would never do an artist like that. Not that he held ill will, but he just knew like I had to break away from NWA because things weren't going the way they should be, as far as divvying up the money and stuff like that, as was portrayed in the biopic.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, probably so, but not necessarily. I don't think. I just think that now that I'm older, to look back to that time, I just think he was just branching off, and just it was fresh territory. He was giving me as much information. We became friends, and I was very inquisitive. Also, I was always asking questions like, okay, so what do we do when we get here? Like, what are they going to ask me questions? Who am I talking to? Like, I knew nothing. I was just so green. I didn't even know what. So when I get here, do I just stand here? Do somebody going to come get me? What do I do? It was really raw.
Right. So stomping into the 90s, one of my favorite songs. Like, how did that song come about? What was the muse for that song? Was that just you like, yo, I'm here? Or what was the muse for it?
Oh, once again, back is the incredible Yo-Yo was born to wear a mic until it's worn like an old tennis shoe, amended you knowledge protect. If it's ran from a school book, reaping someone I'm reaping, I'm keeping a steady flow on the mic so you don't trip. Better bring it double rhyme so you don't slip. Shit is booty, so yo was gonna play. Hey, listen, that was we did when we were in the studio working. We worked forever in Echo Sound all night long to make it quick. We talked about the Intelligent Black Women's Coalition. I wanted to create something. I was a counselor at high school. We came up with the Intelligent Black Women's Coalition. Patricia Charbonnet and I, Jinx and Ice Cube helped me create the name for it. That first song was just because we were so heavy on it, and I was so adamant that I wanted to do something for the women. Like, come on, I want to do something for the women. When Jinx produced that track, it was like, well, I think to Jinx or Summer to the 90s, Jinx would do. Oh, once again, oh no, Public Enemy and them. I think we were out there with Jinx was with them. Jinx did everything, but so it was just the best staple to come out to represent. She's standing for the ladies. This is the fight that I was having in the studio with them when I was making it. So,
right now, speaking of that, let's continue on that path.
Okay.
Hip hop has always been a male dominant thing. We're seeing a turn in that now. The ladies are stepping up. They're controlling the tempo. They're running the game. But back in the 90s, when you're up, it was male dominated, and right. Females had to force their way in. You've been very passionate about female rights and such. Was that just, like you said, you were activist? Was that just you, or did that come from what you saw going on in hip hop?
Being the voice for women, I mean, and still to this day, I see so much. But yeah, the more I got into it, the more I wanted to say more, do more. Really just the experience itself helped me branch out, because even though we came out with IBWC, my crew, and Cleopatra, Girl Don't Be No Fool, and all these other things, we also came out with Gangsta Rap, Bonnie and Clyde, blah, blah, blah. The media was really putting labels on us. I was trying to figure out a way that we could, that I could be a voice of women. Black Pearl, when I've seen the impact, because remember, I knew nothing. When I seen the impact of the community, and after saying I wasn't a role model, you raise your own kids, I'm not the boss, don't blame me, what's going on in the industry. Once I realized how powerful music was and how powerful lyrics were, that's what changed my direction. Black Pearl, I wanted to do more. That's what really kicked off the activism. High school, one thing. Once I got in it, seeing how there was this division between light skin and black skin, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah.
Right. Brown paper bag effect. Real quick, 30 seconds. What did you do the first time you heard yourself on the radio? What was the feeling?
I was at Jack in the Box, and I was telling the lady, I was getting my food, and I was telling the lady, I was like, I heard it on the radio. I was like, that's me, that's me. The lady was like, I was getting ready to drive off. The lady was like, yeah, that's your song. I was like, no, that's me. On the radio. I was trying to drive back home like,
That's funny as hell, man. Hey, when we come back, we're going to take a break, Yo-Yo, but I want to talk to you. These versus battles have been going on, and I want to get your input and opinion on who you would like to see versus battle as far as female MCs. All right, you stick around with us?
I got you.
All right, man. We'll be right back. More later with Leon. Let's pay some bills. No, man, that's fun. So, the Versus TV, I know you've been watching them. There have been some great battles on there. I was talking to Kwame and Ed Lover about it last week. Who would you like to see on Versus as far as women goes, and would you do eras against each other? Would you do a 90s era rapper against somebody current? Like, who would you like to see battle on Versus? Or who would you like to battle if somebody wanted to get in the ring with Yo-Yo?
I mean, I like the way it's going. I think I'd like to see, the fact when Busta Rhymes wanted to go with T.I., I thought that would have been just phenomenal.
For the culture, that would have been great. That would have
been great. T.I., he bowed out for his own reasons. Like, that's like me. It was a little slight diss. It's like me doing something with my grandmother or something like that. Our grandma. Yeah. But Busta Rhymes would have ate his ass alive.
Yeah, he didn't want to smoke. I don't think he wanted to smoke.
No, he didn't want to smoke. So I think that, yes, I'd like to see more. And if I had a chance to do it, I'd like to see, of course, Rage is such a lyricist, but she's such a person. We both have not a lot of songs. If not MC Light, I don't know. MC Light's one of my best friends. She has more songs than me, but I have some bangers out there.
I tell you what, and we're going to get out here and go to commercial, and we're going to come back and talk more about it, but I love to see you and Sister Soldier head up. Both activists, both revolutionary, both with that hard driving style. I would love to see that.
You are a hip-hop head. You're a good
Yeah,
hip
yeah,
hop head.
yeah.
That's a good one.
We're gonna be back, man. More later with Leon coming back. Welcome back to Later with Leon. My girl Yo-Yo sitting down with me. We're talking hip hop. We were talking verses before we left, for some battles that you like to see. The versus platform. And I asked Ed Lover and Kwame this last week, and I want to ask you as a hip hop head, do you wish they would add criteria to it, or do you just like it the way it is? Because a lot of times I feel like it's subjective. You're going to go with who you like as an artist. But if we
Right.
put criteria to it, does that make the battle more interesting?
Without question. Without question, because the cracks and all of that, all of the studio effects are not really there. Yeah, I think a lot. Yeah, a little bit of performance. Show me what you made of. Let me see your style. Some people are on these verses and they're horrible entertainers, but they make great songs.
Right.
So I think, yeah, I think the criteria matters.
So you're currently working on Cafe Mocha?
Cafe Mocha Radio. We're in 39
Lonnie
markets.
Love.
On
Shout out to
Sirius
Lonnie Love.
XM channel 141. We won a Gracie award last year. Hopefully, we get
Okay.
another one. I'm on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season
Nice.
6.
Angela, okay, not the head swing. Don't do it to him like that. Don't hit him with the head swing now. Let him know. Bow. Bow.
Okay. The eyes are green. They got the braids and tight jeans.
So, so how did that come about doing that show with Lonnie Love and Angelique?
Well, MC Light was the hip hop host before, and they just passed the torch to me. MC Light had some other offers, and she moved on, and my name got thrown into the pot, and I've been there almost, want to say 5 years.
Nice. And you've got to do something in this industry that a lot of people can't say they've ever done. You got to talk to Michelle and Barack Obama. What was that like?
Well, it wasn't me; it was Lonnie Love,
Okay.
and you know, I wish it was me, but it wasn't.
Right. Yeah. So I remember we
To
had
be
an interview.
politically correct.
We had an interview with Barack, but he wasn't president yet. He was
Yeah.
about to make the run. And I was just like, man, I got to talk to the dude. He was the president, but I still was kind of hating because I wanted to talk to him when he was president, and we never really got a chance to hit it again. But what I always loved about 44 was he seemed personable.
Yeah.
Even though he knew that, yeah, my level and what I do is a little bit higher than what you do, real talk, but he would sit down, take his jacket off and talk. I mean, politicians going to be politicians, let's be 100. But what I liked about him, it seemed like he was down to earth.
You know what I love? However, I did work with Michelle's Mills program, Michelle Obama's Mill program with the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop. We have a summer program with the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop, and her program fed our children. So I
Nice.
was still working, which is beautiful because I mean I've never had a program that was connected to the president of the United States of America. So to have a program in Los Angeles, South Central Los Angeles, and the First Lady's program is feeding our children was beautiful.
Yeah. And they us. That's
Period.
the real thing. They
It's
us. They
44. Where you at?
that's they us. They us. Young Thug, who I like, one of the new artists that I listened to a little bit. I listened to a little of his music. He went on record and said if he did a versus, he could do it with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z doesn't have 30 songs like he does that everyone could sing along with as his concert. Now I reserve the right to hold my opinion of what I thought about that whole thing. I want to ask you, as an MC in this game, you've seen decades of hip hop, and I'm pretty sure you pay homage to the new rappers that are coming out doing their thing, but you don't forget about the history behind them. What did you think about that statement, honestly, when you heard that, or even me just saying it right now to you? What do you think about him saying Jay-Z doesn't have 30 songs that we can sing along to?
He's a Madonna. He's a hip hop Madonna. He's just looking for some. He's just looking for some controversy right now because nobody believes it.
Right. Yeah. There's no way. Like my mama, 77 plus years old, got Jay-Z songs that she sing that I look at and be like,
Jay Z and Nas. Jay Z and Nas. Now I might
yeah,
have to say, hold up. You know.
Or I might do a Jay-Z and Drake. I feel like Drake is that swag controlling his era of music like Jay-Z did with his.
I agree. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's just at the end of the day, I love the platform. I think Swiss Beats and Timberland did an amazing. I just want to start seeing. I just want to see some criteria added, so you could come away and be like, "Oh, he won."
You know what? Because it's getting so boring now with just the standing up there, and it's like they're just doing the music. You want a little bit more.
Okay. Now, 2019. Now I'm gonna drop a little tidbit on you right here, and I'm gonna see if you remember this. 2019. I guess you went out on tour with Eric B and Rakim, part of the old school concert.
It was the Eric B and Rakim Don't Sweat the Technique tour. Eric B and Rakim featuring Yo-Yo. No old school, just leader.
Okay. So I remember. I don't know if you took a break, but you came to Chicago with a show.
Okay.
That was at the Chicago Theater. It was by Young Fly Entertainment.
Uh-huh.
And you was healed out, came out and rocked that bitch. It was off the chain. It was just a whole, and I was one of the hosts. And I was like, yo still cold. Then like all these people that came out on these shows, like DMX and everybody was still cold. Do you think that's just a certain energy? And like, what is it like touring with pioneers like that? Especially Rakim, who I always said he was the guy that all the girls wanted and the guy that every guy wanted to be.
It was so amazing, especially when I got the call from Eric B saying expect a call from Cara Lewis. And, to get on the tour with them, it was different because for me, coming from the West Coast and the East Coast, bringing a West Coast girl on an East Coast Legends tour with just me opening for Eric B and Rakim, I was just like, wow. What I realized was their whole audience was different than the audience that I was used to. I mean, I'm used to just the Spanish, and the blacks getting out there rocking out. They have a different crowd. They have the doctors, the pediatricians, they have everybody.
Yeah. People that went to college, was in college.
Love their music. So for me, I had it was such a great experience. What I've learned about old school artists is we are the generation that people want to listen to. Well, our generation, especially if you grew up listening to our music, you want to hear it every now and then. Now, they don't want you to put out a new album. They don't want to hear a new song, but they do want to go back and reminisce,
right?
Feel that feeling again.
The nostalgia. One thing, and I want to talk about social media when it comes to that aspect in hip hop too. I love social media. I think it's a great platform to keep in touch with people from across the world, to show people what you're doing if you're an entertainer or something.
Right.
You come to promote. But I also think it strips the nostalgia of being in a concert. So, for example, I remember in 1988, Eric B and Rakim and Run DMC, they came to the Chicago Amphitheater, and Rakim came out of a pyramid out of the stage. And it was like, I got to go to that show. So the next day at the barbershop, I got to tell my friends that, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's gone now because everybody's got their cameras up. You're not really enjoying the show.
Yeah, but just that music, I think, and, just getting out, the fact that you get, people get dressed for these occasions, the fact that, you're going to have a good time to socialize with your friends. People miss that. The talking shit, sometimes you might hear some, wait, hold on, that's my favorite part.
Or the crowd, let the crowd sing it.
Right, that's my favorite part right there. I think that, of course, it cannot take the place of live performances no matter what. Just the fact that, especially now that we're older, I just think the fact that we can just be together, socialize, have your girlfriends, get dressed, go shopping for an event. Because women, we don't even get a chance to shop, well, you're married, but there's a lot of women out here who are not married. Sometimes all they have is their girlfriends to go out and,
Well, my wife got her girlfriend. She go out too. We married. It's been damn near 20 years. So, we got to die now. Ain't nobody going nowhere. One of us got to check up out of here. Simple as that. Ain't nobody gonna leave. Where you going? You be back? All right.
Oh, tell Nicole I got her. That's right, Nicki. When you come to Cali, come hang out with your girl Yo-Yo.
Go ahead, but you better come back. Come back. Hey, Come back. It's like, listen, when we come back more later with Leon, I want to ask you, and I'm gonna let you marinate on this through the break. What female hip hop artist right now you think is gonna have that longevity and take hip hop to the next wave for the next set of women? We'll be right back. More later with Leon.
Gotcha.
Back with more later with Leon. We're talking to my homegirl, Yo-Yo, one of hip hop's finest, and a woman that has left her mark and legacy on hip hop. What female, I asked you this before we went to break, gave you some time to think on it. What female artist do you think will leave a long lasting mark on hip hop with their influence for that next wave of female MCs?
That was a deep question. I was thinking, and it's so easy to say those who are right now. Rhapsody, I love Rhapsody. I love where she's coming from. Yeah, she really is. Mew Mew, she's on tour with a Common. She's not from Chicago, is she?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many women who have to find that happy medium, have to find that happy medium where they are more mainstream. But we have some great women out there. But if I was trying, I love Cardi because Cardi is such an artist. I love Cardi B. I love Megan Thee Stallion. Of course, she's done some things that women have not been able to do in hip hop in a long time. And I'm very proud of her. Of course, Nicki has made her mark. Congratulations to Nicki Minaj. She's a new mother that's going to change her. I want to see her next album after being a mom.
Evolve, yeah.
Exactly, because I already know it's going to change her. But I think that the women who are making an impact right now are doing a wonderful job, but I am still it's still room for more to really come in there. I'm just waiting on that Lauryn Hill of today. Because that's where our problem was before. Me coming out with Ice Cube and them, and Salt and Pepper and them having that push it, just being very commercially correct, politically correct, as your video was stating, being very politically correct. Roxanne Shante causing a lot of hip hop controversy, which was good and did well. Queen Latifah just representing herself. Queen, we were all looking, and me coming out, Ice Cube still standing behind the women, but West Coast gangster vibes a little bit. When Lauryn Hill, then we had Nicki Minaj, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, the coochie bag. And so it was more so, you like that? Then it was
I didn't want to be the first one to say it. You know what I'm saying? I let you say
it. But because we were all trying to find a way, they were trying to find a way not to sound gangsterism, or gangstified, and to represent a different personality from women and to show their femininity side. And then here Lauryn came and was able to do all of it with that.
But when did the balance switch? Like, when did it go from, and not that I love a good turn up song, and I don't have no problem with female MCs expressing their sexuality and stuff like that, right? But then again, on the flip side, when you turn and say you're not respected in hip hop is misogynistic, which it is.
Yeah.
Which it is. I'm not taking anything from that. I'm not saying the guys are right. But then when I hear your music, it kind of feeds into that narrative. Like, how do women like Rhapsody and them shift the dynamic and bring it back to hip hop, bring it back to activism, bring it back to still be able to party? Because we had songs we don't play with my yo-yo was gangster, but we partied to it.
And it was sassy and sweet a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people in college said that song.
How did they get back to that though?
Well, you know what? I think finding a happy medium, I always say this, the recipe for success is that happy medium, not too conscious and not too urban. That's that happy medium that I think that how does it get back to just strictly rap? It's never going back there. It's like asking, what are we going to do after COVID? It's not going back there. You know what I mean? I just think that, and you don't have to really strip to get your message off. And that's what it seems like it is. But this is just this time right now. This is just this cycle. I think after this wave, this new wave, when Nicki puts out her new album, I think she's going to be more mature. She's going to you'll be able to see a little bit more of the balance, because she'll be able to tell her baby daddy, listen, nobody playing with you, okay? And respect my kid and respect me as a woman. And I'm still sexy and cute and blah, blah,
right.
blah, blah.
Because I used to love TLC, and they wore baggy clothes like you couldn't even really.
Those days are over, honey. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. Right now, they listen.
They doing their thing.
The cat in the hat.
So, what are your feelings about the song WAP?
WAP.
I mean, yeah, WAP.
WAP. A bucket and a mop. That's a WAP.
I hate saying WAP because I always thought that was a derogatory term for Sicilian people. So I would always say WAP. You know what I'm saying? Long A instead of, hard A. But what do you think about the song, and how did you feel when it came out with Megan Thee Stallion? A lot of people were mad about it. I wasn't. It didn't bother me because, I like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was some dudes that were upset about it and trying to toot their horn like it was taking hip hop in the wrong direction. Real quick, how did you feel about that?
Well, I didn't listen to it for a long time. I mean, not on purpose, but I was just like, I didn't really know what to think. And then I listened to it and I was just like, oh, okay. And then, trying to gather my thoughts, but my thoughts were directed. I started hearing other people's opinion and what people had to say. And then I was like, maybe I wouldn't say how I really feel. Or, I heard, their replies and I said, yes, right. Support women, and women have a voice, and men have been doing it for a long time. You are right. Say it. And then I was just like, oh, so it was like, I don't know how to feel kind of feeling.
We're going to touch more on that when we come back. Let's take a break right now. Later with Leon. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Later with Leon. It's your boy, the Destin Legend, Leon Rogers from 107.5 WGCI, iHeartMedia Station. And on with me today, I got Yo-Yo. We've been talking about hip hop, her career, women's influence in hip hop. We're gonna get back to that, but I got a new segment on my show called Why, People? Why? These are video clips you're about to see of crazy situations. People find themselves caught on camera. So check this out. Let's go right to it. Here's this edition of Why, People? Why?
Managers, this company, this position, that big lazy bitch, Chris Price. I quit.
That's how you quit a job. If I'm gonna quit a job, I want to quit a job like that. Now you ain't gonna get no more jobs at Walmart or nothing no more. That's a wrap. You can't use them as a reference. But if you quit a job, that's how you quit a job. I'm just saying. If you go out, guns blazing. All right, this one right here, I don't know about this next one that's coming up. It's mobbed by raccoons. I don't know about this one right here. Why, people? Why?
Yes!
No. I ain't trying to start nothing, but you see who's feeding them. I'm moving. I'm gone. I went to empty my garbage one day and there was a raccoon sitting on the can. I stood there till he got finished. We was outside for half an hour.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Because they got little hands. I ain't scared of nothing small.
Remember, anytime we get close to anything, that's my favorite thing, rabies.
All right, man. And now next thing, COVID is out here running crazy, but some people don't care. Let's take a look. But then they mad when you get put on lockdown. When it spike up 2 million, this is why. Why, people? Why? Sit your ass still. Sit your ass still. It's okay. 14 days. Just sit still for 14 days. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
Still, this is our last clip. This lady, you see how slow I am?
No. Wait.
Oh. Anyway, we run that again, please.
Oh God.
One more time.
Yeah, that was one too many.
That's not funny. She could have drowned because she was drunk. But I know when
One
last
too many.
she sobered up.
Yeah,
But that was a party. That was a party. But
that's
let's
one
get
too
back to
many.
it. That was Why People. If you got something you want to see on Why People, hit me up, man. Hit us up here at Fox Soul, man. Send us some videos. Don't be doing nothing on purpose. This is just stuff you happen to catch.
That's
Oh,
right.
we check it out. Listen, let's get back to this hip hop stuff now. And we were talking about the females getting their credibility, you know what I'm saying, and getting their just due. Do you think some of them take the time to look back? I think a lot of times when they do that, bring out all the old MCs to perform with me, it's just for a moment. It's just to go viral for a moment. Oh, this was a big moment. She brought all these people out to rap. But they don't kind of continue kind of some of the legacy what you guys were rapping about back in the day. Does that bother you, or do you not care? Or you be like, everybody got each genre, each era has their own thing that they do?
Yeah, I believe that each genre has their own thing, a lot of support. So, sorry.
Are you good?
Women haven't had a lot of support. So to so the first thing is I'm always grateful when the new school represents those who have paved the way. It always shows that her story is really important to them. And that's all you really care about, is that they don't forget about who've paved the way. And this, a lot of this new generation of artists, sometimes they are so like my kid, they're so stubborn and in their own way that sometimes they forget, hey, who pays the bills in this house?
Wow.
Who
Real
paid the
quick, I gotta get in this before we get out of here with you, because I could talk all day to you. There's so much history and knowledge that you're spitting. Actress, what was it like working with John Singleton? And what was it like being Key Lolo, one of my favorite actors on my
Really quick, I went to the set with Ice Cube. I did not have a part in Cube, and I was jokingly said to John Singleton, "Where's my part?" And he said, "Can you act?" I said, "Of course." I'm always saying I can do everything. And so he said, "Yeah, let me see you talk to the baby." And I was like, "Come here, baby. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here." He was like, "Okay, yo, no. We're gonna put you back there with Regina King and them. You sit back there and let's see we can." But they did put me on the soundtrack. Mama Don't Take No Mess. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's a song I made for my mom. And Key Lolo, we had Martin to come in and do some interludes on one of my albums where Ice Cube had him to come in and do it. And he told me about this show that he had. And he said, "Yo, I want you to be Shanae's best friends. I'm gonna call you Key Lolo." 2 years later, I get a call from Warner Brothers. I was nervous, like trying to figure out this part. He said, "No, the part is yours. You don't have to audition." It was a recurring role. I'm forever grateful for it. And a lot of kids of today know me because of that.
I'm forever grateful for you for stopping by, Lolo. I appreciate you so much. The time flies when you're having fun. Got to give a big shout out to my wife, who's kind of like a producer, made a little virtual background. Love her. She takes care of your boy. I appreciate you, Lolo. We got to have you back.
Yes.
Got to have you back. Y'all give it up for Lolo. It's your boy, the Destined Legend, Leon Rogers. My main brothers from another mother, Mike and Donnie, are up next. Later with Leon. You see something bad out in these streets, say something. Peace.
Yeah, my new name is Lolo.
Lolo. Yo, I'm sorry. Lolo, you just was saying that. It was in my mind.